The burning in your spirit, welling deep inside. You got a beast inside. I know it's hard to tame it, it's harder to explain it. Can't even get a picture, no matter how you frame it. There's so much pressure with all these external stresses, and undoubtedly try to test you. Gotta push them through the feeling, even though your mind is reeling. The power's deep inside and leads you if you were willing. Got the power. Can you feel the power? This is the hour to release your power. Got the power.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Power Shut Up podcast. We are excited to have you all with us again for another Thursday. We're looking forward to this. This is a continuation of last time we were here. We're going to meet some more exciting casts from the play that we talked about. Before we get things started, though, I want to kick things off like we usually do and say happy birthday to anybody who's celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. And also, if you're celebrating a birthday this month, and especially this month, because this is my birthday month. So I wanted to give a special shout out to the April babies because I am an April baby. So happy birthday to you. And I'll give you a little bit more about what's going to happen next week in celebration of birthday. I announced retirement. So we love to celebrate over here on the Power Shut Up. So please come back next week because we're going to have a little party, DJ, everything else. But tonight we are showcasing some of our wonderful guests. I also wanted to say happy anniversary to anybody who's celebrating love. Whether you got engaged, you got married, you found, your one. Happy anniversary to you. And after happy anniversary, I always love to say congratulations to anybody who's doing anything, whether it's starting a new class, starting a new career, bought a new home, did something you never thought you'd be able to do. Whatever it is, congratulations, keep going. I know that the world has been a crazy place, so sometimes it's the little things that matter. So I wanted to say congratulations to those people. I wanted to also welcome our guests who are tuning in. I know we have a lot of family and friends for all of us. We have Nisha is fabulous is in here, says, hey, Riley. So Riley, you got a shout out already. That's what I'm talking about. His divine appointment said good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Bernadette is here. Hello, Bernadette. She said hello to Lisa and the cast. So they are ready to hear from the guests. I did want to welcome you back. I know last week for you all who weren't here last week, shame on you if you weren't here last week because you missed some dynamic people. But I'm gonna help catch you up, okay? And we have some new cast members here that we're going to talk to. But we talked about a play that's coming to the DMV. So if you're in the DMV area, which is where I am, please tune in so that you know where you can go check out this wonderful play. It's called Laughing in Spite of a Caregiver's Journey, and it's on Saturday, May 10th, 2025 at the Public Playhouse. We'll also continue to give you the information, and the cast members are going to share some information with you too. But we wanted to introduce you to some more of the cast members. I do have some bios, but I want them to talk about themselves a little bit because they know them better than we do. But I wanted to welcome them to the Power Shut Up. And we do have Rosalind here who was with us last week, and she helped kind of give us a background of where this all came from. So I'm going to ask Rosalind to start off by giving us a little bit of background for those who may not have been present last week, to tell us how we got to even starting this play. And then you can kind of help me co-host with me to introduce some of these fabulous we have here.
Okay, fantastic. Hello, everyone. I'm Rosalind Morgan. I am the author of the book Laughing to Keep from Crying. This Alzheimer's thing is no joke. I wrote this book in 2016 and it was based on my experience and my family's experience dealing with my mother who had Alzheimer's and the drama that caregivers go through with this extremely difficult disease. And after I wrote the book, I shared it with one of my good friends. We were in a choir together, and I didn't realize she was a playwright. So she read it and she approached me and said, I want to write a play. I didn't believe her because I'm like, what? So anyway, she was persistent. So she actually started and we started collaborating. And as a result, the play was written. We first did the play in 2019 in two different locations in Harmony Hall and then at Bowie Center for Performing Arts. We did it, then the pandemic hit, then we did it again last year, again at Harmony Hall. And now we are here at Public Playhouse on May 10th at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
And we have had a fabulous cast throughout the time. And so I'm so excited. The people are on this podcast today that we're continuing it. But that's
Yes.
how it started.
Absolutely. And I'm extra excited. We love all our guests that come here, but I'm a little extra excited because I'm always pleased when we have young people in the building. And a lot of times we don't get to hear from our youth. We don't get to see them in the spotlight. And sometimes they're bad for us. Sometimes we're just overcasting them and we never get to see them. So I was happy to see some young people out here doing their thing. I think last week we shared some of the experience, and I give kudos to everyone who has ever been a cast member in a play. I have had the experience, and it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun, but it's on spot. And I learned quickly from being in a movie and being in a play the differences between the two. And for young people to be able to do it, I'm like, I'm gonna sit back and watch because it was a lot for me. I'm like, I can't remember what yesterday was, let alone lines and things like that. So
Right.
I want to find out from the cast members, like, how was it? Is this your first time? Because I think some of you, this is your debut. So I wanted you to help me, Rosalind, by introducing some of the cast members we have with us, and then you all tell me a little bit about your role and how it's been, how exciting it is, and what was your scariest moment. So, who do we want to start with, Rosalind?
Okay, so I'm going to start with the person right next to you. And
Okay,
that's Miss Raynesia Smith, and she is my daughter. So,
okay.
so I'll let her talk about herself.
Yes, please tell us about your role and tell us how exciting it's been.
I thought we was going to go with Riley first, but it's okay. We were talking about the younger boy, but it's all good. So hi, I'm Raynesia, Rosalind Morgan's daughter, the author. My role is literally to play myself as the older me. When it comes to this play, yeah, my debut was last year. And I told my mom, I said, okay, I'll be the last resort if you can't find nobody else. I don't think there was no other resort. So last year it was really fun. It was my first play. I want to say maybe my first play experience. I don't remember all the way until elementary school and things like that. But as far as this serious role, going back into that state I was in as a child, as a teenager, learning my grandmother and along with my family was, and it really had to go back and channel that. And having that as first experience, I always say that we're kind of like the light of the play, like the humorous part sometimes, with the exception of the end portion. You'll when you go to the play, you'll see what I'm talking about. When it's literally me and my mother, that really that day in particular, it really took me aback of how I had to relearn how I was and how I had matured to who I am now. And it's funny because I'll get a little background about myself. I'm actually a massage therapist in Lanham. So is all me. I went to Hampton. Shout out to all HBCUs. I went to Hampton. And then community mental health. I got my master's in, and then went to massage therapy. So it's a full circle moment. going back into learning, especially the that I encounter are different ages. A lot of them are caregivers. So we have these conversations at times too. So, and sharing them with my mom, having them part of support groups and things like that is really have been a, like I say, a full circle moment from my journey. Then trying to what's going on with my family, with my grandmother is I don't know who this lady is, not who I grew up with, this happy-go-lucky person to someone who has a whole attitude every day, 0 to 100 real to now going and learning more about that whole the whole Alzheimer's disease and the caregivers that come along and help out and need that support. So
yeah, and the fact that you were, you experienced this a little younger, and you've been able to see, and experience. And I think I shared last week that I actually, my grandmother had Alzheimer's as well. We lost her to Alzheimer's, but it was an experience. And I had younger children who didn't understand what was going on. And we're also learning. And one of the things that I love what you all are doing, because I learned through that experience when I kind of dropped everything and we moved into like a 5-bedroom house so that we could take care of my grandmother, because I had learned that being a caretaker is really huge. And sometimes they can go before the patient or the person. So I was like, okay, well then I need to take care of my mom while she takes care of her mom. It's really a community family kind of thing. So I love that, and a lot of people don't realize that people are going through this. And that it does take everybody. It really does take a village. I did want to do a special shout out because you say Hampton and it's Spelman over here. So HBCUs all day. Yes, let's do this. Okay. You gave me a reason. Okay.
Morgan State over there. Yes. I used to work at Morgan State.
I know that's right.
I'm going to save you some money, but
yeah,
I'm son out. He's at Eastern Shore, so we HBCU all up in here. I know that's right. And Howard, my sister was Howard Law, so yeah, we representing. Okay, I'm okay with that. But no, I thank you so much. I think your insight is really, really cool, and for you to be able to work with your mom. So how is that?
It's fun. I think even more so older, you understand all the dynamics of the family. So even the person, of course, he wasn't able to be here, and my brother, and how we meshed together just like siblings. It's the most amazing, hilarious thing ever. And also seeing people that played my uncle and see how they meshed, and the person who Diane, who was up here earlier, who played my mom, and hey, Eastern Shore, and you can see the mindset then. Of course, you wasn't thinking about it now, because at first you're thinking about self, right, and how you have to portray during this time. And it's really it's a roller coaster ride just watching her character really come to life. We station what I want to say it was last night or the night before about something in the play that happened, and the mindset then. It was really interesting to learn how people are still like this in a sense, but the why and the how all just comes together. Right. So it was just like my mom and my grandma, like there was thick as thieves. Like that was her BFF growing up like that. So you can see that in together. You can see that the different the generations, like we all literally all have the same face, look just like her, but just like my mom. So we like my grandmothers, but our dynamic in our passion for one sense of community, sense of family, sense of people as a whole are the same, and just working together in this play is showing that. So yeah,
I love that. Thank you so much. So Rosalind, because she is my co-host for tonight, who are we going to talk to next to see how they became a part of this wonderful play?
Okay, so we are going to little Miss Riley, and I think her mom is there with her. Hey, Miss Riley, she's playing Young Ray.
Okay, so I understand that this is your debut. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in this play and acting. Well, who gave you the acting bug? How did you decide you wanted to act?
How did you know you wanted to act?
We're
Can
not
you
gonna
say that one more time, please?
How did you know that you wanted to act? What made you like acting?
Maybe because I like dancing.
You love dancing? Okay, okay. So was acting easy for you?
Yes.
It was. Okay, so what's your favorite part? And you can't tell me too much, I know.
When the stove got on fire.
Okay. And so are you the youngest person on the set?
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't have any problems remembering your lines?
No.
No? Okay, well, I need to take some lessons from you, okay? She like, I don't think so. So how has it been fun? What's the best part about being a part of this play? Is the people? Is it hanging out with the people?
With the people.
With the people? You like the people? They're very nice to you. Do you have fun? You laughing and playing?
Yes.
You are. So how is it working with everybody?
Good.
It's good. Okay. Are there long days? Do you get tired or are you good?
I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Well, Riley she come to work. Okay. So if Mom is there, Mom, you're welcome to come on. Tell us a little bit about how it was to work with Riley in the set, in the play. You're welcome to come.
It was very good. It was fun. It was exciting. Okay, she doesn't want me to sit next to her. But it was fun. It was exciting. She really likes her friend that she met. He's not here tonight. But she really likes Micah.
Oh, Micah, yes.
That's her new best friend.
Okay.
What else? That all you want to say?
We'll come back to you so you can think about what else because you could say whatever you want to say. We're gonna go around and talk to some of the other cast members, but don't go nowhere. Stay right there and think about what else you want to let us know about this play and what you're doing. Okay, so we'll be right back. Okay, stay right there. Rosalind, who else you want us to be introduced to?
We're going to go with Mr. Brendan.
Okay.
First, before I go to the other person.
Okay. Welcome, Brendan.
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm good. So tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this play.
Well, last year when we did the production at Harmony Hall, it was about maybe early January. I went in to read for another character actually, but long story short, things got to be, progressive, and I ended up reading for another character because my monologue was dramatic and it wasn't one that was funny. It was one, I'm usually one to do a very funny monologue, but this time I went and took a dramatic approach, and long story short, I ended up landing the role of the very arrogant, but quite frankly, I would say ignorant Dr. Noser.
Okay. So how has it been to do a funny role?
Well, in the past, I was very shocked when I got cast as Dr. Noser because everybody in my career has always casted me as the comedic relief. And I'm happy with that because, I feel like that's my job, to create moments that people will cherish for the rest of their lives. But, doing a comedic role is so much different than doing a dramatic role or a more so suspenseful role because you're bringing joy to people's hearts, and I take a very, very responsible approach to doing that.
So how long have you been acting?
I have, as the story goes, I have been acting since I was 5 months old.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my. Okay. So this is old hat for you. This is just like something you wake up and you do.
Yeah. Anytime I get casted in a production, it's pretty much another day at the office.
I love it. So what was your, and I know you all can't tell a lot about the play because we are encouraging people to go check it out, but what was the most maybe difficult part? Because what I do like about the comedic relief is that it balances things out, especially if it's kind of heavy play, and you need that balance, because if people are just really emotional the whole time, they get kind of lost in that. So it is wonderful to have that piece of that. But what was the hardest part about this play for you?
I think it was probably my character analysis. I think it was the hardest part was being able to identify with, having played musical. I come from musical theater background. So having to identify with such an ignorant, arrogant, snotty, malicious person, drawing parallels between he and I think that was probably the hardest part, because as an actor, what you want to do is you want to tap into a specific type of emotional facility.
Mm-hmm.
And, the hardest part really was just the tenseness between this doctor and this caring mother, and to tap into that, that emotional standpoint was, it was very interesting. But in my career as a performer, I always love a challenge.
Well, and that's a difficult position, because in real life, that's a hard role, because I don't know that I would want to be in that role. When my grandmother was going in, my mother was taking her. I know for my mother, it was difficult to talk to the nurse, talk to whatever, especially when she's there and she feels like she has her own opinion and you're battling all the time. But I can't wait to hear more about what's going to happen with this play, and I feel some kind of way about it just because I did experience it, and I know sometimes it's a heavy topic, but at the same time, the things that I remember about my grandmother are some of the funniest things ever. She was somebody who was very, I say, prissy, and she would hold her mug with her pinky out and just shake the mug even when there was nothing in it. So we would always say, Gaga, there's nothing in the mug. And she would look at you like, mind your business. Like, so what? But we love those moments. And that's what I remember about those moments, is that there were times when she got a little sassy with us and we were like, oh, okay. But it was so different from who she was before. So it was an adjustment for us because we weren't used to her being so sassy all the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she was a matriarch. So it's like, okay, you gotta listen to her because, you don't go against Gaga. That was the rule.
Yeah.
So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. We'll circle back around. But
thank you.
Riley, you want to share something with us?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So what else you got?
Okay. What you want to say?
He wants to come back. We'll come back to you in just a minute.
Okay, it's fine. You don't have to say.
Is this your? Let me ask you a question, Riley. Is this your very first interview?
It is.
Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you this. I feel so honored to be the first person to interview you. And I'm hoping as you start this, because I'm sure you'll be acting again, that you have to promise me that you will do your best to come back after this interview and we'll interview you again.
That sounds like a good idea.
Can you do that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, but don't go nowhere because we're not finished with you yet. Okay. Okay. So Rosalind, you're gonna help us introduce the next guest.
Absolutely. We have Mr. Chris here, and he's a cool guy. So I'm gonna let him talk
Chris.
about what he's doing.
How are you doing, cool Chris?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this play.
Also, since we talking about HBCUs, I also am a Morganite. So
okay,
the Morgan Bears.
Let me find out. This what
Me
I'm
too,
about.
Chris.
Yes. Fair Morgan, we love thee.
I'm a little bit, halfway, a little bit.
That's all right. So actually, the director of this production, Jacqueline Anderson, we are good friends. We have been in productions together for several years. I first met her in a stage production at Evangel Cathedral called Christmas Celebration. And more than trying all those productions, I did those with her. And we've just struck a friendship over the years. And I just told her, I said, when because since they don't do those plays anymore, I do sometimes do some stuff at another place where we do theatrical productions and stuff. But I said, if you have anything that you're working on and stuff, let me know. I need to do my acting chops. I mean, my first gift was singing, but acting is as my other love. So I said, let me know what's going on. So she contacted me some time ago, and she was like, hey, I'm doing the play Laughing in Spite of, and I think I have a role that you would be perfect for. And I said, okay. So that's how that came to be. I had seen the production before, and the topic, the subject matter is very, I guess, home hitting for me because I experienced that. Not only do I'm in acting and all that, but I also have a healthcare background. I worked in nursing for years, and was exposed to the condition with my patients. And then my grandmother had dementia. So some of the storyline and the backgrounds and stuff that describes Mary, the person who is going through dementia. My grandmother had some of the same backgrounds, like where she was from and how she moved to her new home and all. Like, I experienced all that. So some of the time when I was in rehearsal, I got a little emotional because it was almost like I was reliving it. And then a lot of times they say that with that condition, the person that gives the most care or they spend the most time with, they're the ones that's the enemy. So in that case, I was the oldest grandson and my mom was a only child. So I assisted my mother a lot. So I got accused for all the stuff that happened. So if somebody took something, I was the one that I was the one that took it. So I mean, it was hard. So, and it was hard for me because being denial. I mean, you deal with it at work, but you just don't expect for it to be at home because you expect your grandmother to be this strong person. She was a salutatorian in high school. I mean, she was an intelligent person, and to see her transition because of that condition is really eye-opening. So that's kind of like how I got involved in this production. I'm very happy to be here. So
look, I mean, we met when we came on the last time. What I mentioned was that the cast seemed so connected and like they were family, which is great. When you got cast members who actually connect that way. I think I can't remember, Rosalind, who it was, but they felt like that they were real, family. Like, that's my brother, that's my mother, that's my sister. Which makes for a good play when you all are already connecting like that. And it's funny because the story you told is very similar. Like I said, to me, with dealing with trying to look out for my mom, because I knew that she would be the one that would get the brunt of the attitude and all of that. And it wasn't personal, and it's hard to separate that when you're trying to take care of them and they don't want you to, and they're trying to still push their independence, but that it's not what it is. And it can be very difficult and definitely emotional. So I can imagine in doing the play, if you've ever been close to that kind of experience, it reminds you of some really difficult times, even kind of explaining yourself over and over again of who you are, because they don't know or don't remember, or you're someone else. I mean, I was always someone else, like the other cousin or whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm me. And you can't, take it personally, but it can be hard. So it takes a strong person too, to really deliver this message, because I think that we should talk more about it. So that's why I love what you all are doing, because we got to get the word out. I think a lot of people have been a part of, dementia, they've dealt with this and didn't know what it was. So the fact that you all are kind of showing people and teaching them, and some of you have actually experienced it, is really kind of awesome. So thank you so much for all that you are doing. I see that we have another guest with us, and maybe we can get Riley to speak up a little bit more because her partner is here. But Rosalind, who else do we have with us?
We have Mr. Micah. So we would like for him to, he plays the young Jonathan, who is my son. He's playing the young son. So Micah,
welcome, Micah. Welcome.
I'm not sure if he's on mute or not. So
can you unmute?
Is your mom there to unmute you?
My mom's not here. She's in Florida.
All right, so you can talk. All right.
Okay, so Micah, nice to meet you. Tell me a little bit about where you got the acting bug from and how this production has been for you. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's been pretty good, but I don't know. It's just perfect for me.
It's perfect. That's a perfect word. Okay. So what has been your favorite part of this experience with being in this play?
Meeting all these amazing people and how much they encourage me to do more and more stuff throughout the year and last year when I did the play.
I love that. So you were in the play last year too?
Yes.
Okay, so this is just you got this down pat. Okay, I love this. So how old are you now, Micah?
10.
You're 10. Okay. Is this your first time, or when you were in this play last time, was that your first time acting, or have you done other productions?
I've done others, and I've done school plays and commercials for my mom.
Okay. So you started young. Okay. So you're old in this game. You old 10 in this game, because I'm telling you, I can learn from the young people because y'all have the energy for it. So tell me this, what has been your most difficult challenge being in this play? Was it remembering your lines, but you've done this before, but what's been more difficult than the other things this time around?
It's like the timing on when I have to say my lines and when I don't have to say my lines.
Okay. So I might have to hire you all at some point to teach me, because I think I never got it right. They were just like, just keep going, Lisa. Don't worry about it. So I heard that your buddy on stage behind stage is Riley, and Riley's been looking for you. So maybe what is your role in connection with Riley in the play? Is there a direct connect?
I don't know. That's your decision.
So Riley plays, what's Riley's role in the play?
My younger sister.
She's your younger sister. So has it felt like that this is kind of like your real sister? Have you all kind of developed that connection while you've been doing the play?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Do you have a little sister too?
No, just two big sisters.
Two big sisters. So this was different because you got to adjust to a little sister. I had a little sister. So yeah, it's a lot to have a big sister. I was the big sister. So are there other young people on the cast, or is Riley and Micah the youngest of the cast members?
They're the youngest.
They're the youngest. Okay. So would you do this again, Micah, next year?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
I know that's right. I love to have young people on here. So Rosalind, I wanted you to kind of share. We've talked with the cast members. We met some last time, but I did want for you to share some of the details of when the play is going to be and what they have to look forward to. I know something you mentioned last time I would love for you to share again is that you all are actually trying to teach people about what this is, so that they can recognize it. So talk a little bit about that and where they can catch this play.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, we're doing the play on May 10th at Public Playhouse. It's going to be at 3:00, and that's at 5445, and that's on Landover Road in Hyattsville. This play, it's a lot. It's funny. You may cry, and you're going to learn. because the way Elaine Hutchinson, who wrote the play, the way she did it, reading my book, she incorporated, I'm not going to tell you about certain things, but she incorporated learning tips and also in the play. And that's the way we've done it. And the play teaches people. I have people come to me said they never heard of Alzheimer's dementia. They learned so much through the play, and that's what we need to do. Right. And I'm going to share this with people. And I think and a couple of years ago, 2023, I think 24, I said last time, but the end of 23, there was a study that came out about 3,142 counties in the United States. And the study looked at the prevalence of people who had dementia. And three counties, Baltimore County, Miami-Dade, and I believe it was a county in New York, they tied for number 1. And guess what? Prince George's County came in number 2 as the most prevalent with dementia. And that's a problem because we need to teach our community, especially the Black community, about this disease, and don't ignore the signs. Absolutely. When you see something, you need to act on it. You know, don't just say, oh, you know, the old saying was, oh, they see now. No. No, we have to activate. So we have to take an active role with our families, and we see something. And then if you have doctors who are nuts, you go find another one. You don't have to sit and deal with that.
That's right.
So that's what we want to do. We want to teach people about the disease and what they can do to help with their brains. That's another thing that we talk about there. We can help you as far as to keep your mind, you know, sharp as possible.
Well, and that's a good point, because I know when we experienced it with my grandmother, my mother and I learned so much from taking care of her that she started to do things, and there are little things that you can do to just keep your mind busy and moving around. I know she would play Candy Crush or do word searches and things like that. So I like that you are actually sharing with people different things that they can do, because you think that one doesn't have anything to do with the other. But actually continuing to think about things and figure out things helps keep your mind alive. And I also like the fact that in having these kind of conversations, it pushes family. I'm a family kind of person, and I think we've gotten away from the family. So everybody's doing their individual things. And so it's harder to see when this is happening. And as if we can grow closer together as family, we can identify these issues and then come together as a family and decide how to handle it, because it really is a situation where the family has to come together. This is not a, you know, well, you take care of it and let me know if you need anything. No, we need everybody on board and figuring this out, because it's a 24-hour thing. I mean, there was literally a moment where my mother had to retire immediately out of Georgia. We're in Maryland. I'm with her, but I'm working because I'm young and working, and nobody can be with her 24 hours a day. But we had to make some adjustments, and life changed. And we have to be okay with that if we're going to look out for our families. I mean, it takes a village, truly.
Absolutely.
I thank you all for doing this, but I wanted to go around before we finish with everything. I wanted to actually, because I know everybody has their own lives and they're doing things too. So you're doing this amazing play, but we still want to know who you are and what things you're doing and how we can find you out on social media to get in touch with you about this play. I'm going to keep saying that till y'all go get y'all tickets. So we're going to say that before we leave, but also you all mentioned a little bit about your backgrounds. And it's interesting that a lot of them were connected to the very topic that you all are talking about in this play. But let people know where they can find you, and what you have going on and what's next after this play, what you got going on, so people know what to look forward to. So we can actually start where we started. Let's go right back on to the top, because you were first.
Okay.
So tell us where we can find you and what other things you might have coming up.
Again, my name is Rainicia Smith. I'm a massage therapist at Gym Therapy with the G3M, Mind, Body, and Soul. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, a little bit. But more so Instagram. A little bit Facebook. But yeah, I do massage therapy and in some wellness education as well. Like I said, a lot of my clientele have been are caregivers or have experienced Alzheimer's as a whole. So connecting them, also work with different populations from I would say all the way up to my lovely seniors as well. So all connected. Even still in school system, me and Morgan still have connection too. So don't count me out.
I know that's right.
Right. I worked there for like 5-6 years. I better not count me out. So we still do things there. That's literally what I do. And growing more into the wellness space and connecting, educating folks as best as I can, getting the team around to do the same thing. So that's definitely how you can.
I love that. And the fact that, and I will say this, I just retired as of 3/31, and I am definitely trying to revamp my schedule or lack thereof now. But massage will definitely be on the agenda on a regular basis, as my body lets me know that you better do something. So not just, massaging the mind, but I'm like, oh my goodness, the aches and pains. So I'm gonna have to keep you in my mind, okay?
That's it. I'm here. I'm located in Atlanta, so our Parliament Place right by Forest Boulevard. So definitely come on through.
So y'all heard that, and please let's connect on social media. And everybody who's in the chat, thank you so much for tuning in, and please connect with these cast members. Stay connected to the Power Shut Up. You can come to our page and find out who's been here, who's hanging with us, and of course, once you come on the Power Shut Up, you're family. So we serve you this time around, but next time when you come back, you can go to the fridge on your own, because y'all consider family here. But thank you so much for joining us. And Brendan, I think we're going to go to you and find out, what do you have going on, and tell everybody where they can find you.
Excuse me. Absolutely. So you can find me on the main social media platform, Instagram. There's all different kinds of things on Instagram that I post, whether or not I have a show like this coming up or something of the sort. But you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. I say the next thing I probably got coming up is I'll be returning to school next month for psychology.
Okay.
And I thank you. And I also at this point in my career, I would probably say I'm looking to sharpen other people's skills. So I want to do artists. Yeah, okay. I would like to get into artist development and training young actors and, getting in front of the camera and what have you.
I love that. And for everybody who comes, this platform is available, is exactly what we do. I have an online magazine as well that I'm revamping. But I mean, this is why I do what I do, is to shine a spotlight on people who are doing things that empower, enlighten, and inspire others. As His Divine Appointment said, iron sharpening iron. That's why we're here. And that's why I love to do this, because a lot of times what I really kind of started out where there's a lot of things going on, not just in the DMV, but just everywhere. And people don't know about, like, I would be exposed to certain things. And I was like, why doesn't everybody know about this? So that's when I kind of decided, okay, well, let me do my part. And if I find out somebody is doing something that is amazing, hey, you can come right here, share, get it out to the public. That's how we support one another. So I thank you all for even considering the platform, because that's what I'm here for. So thank you, and continue to keep going. And remember that this platform is here for you. Rosalind,
Thank you.
We're going to come around to you, Rosalind, last, so you can close us out. So we're going to go to Riley. And Riley, tell us, is there somewhere we can find you and follow you? Let me see if I can take her off mute. Yes. Okay. So we took you off mute. So where can we find you to follow you about this place, so we can get people in the scene and they can see you?
On social media. Huh? What did you say?
Where can we find you on social media?
Huh? No.
No, you're on social media, so mom takes care of that because you're a little too young, right? So when is the play again? Where can we come see you? Do you remember what day the play is?
May 10th.
May 10th. And what is your role in the play to remind everybody?
Young Ray.
Young Ray. So you all make sure that you go out and support Riley as Young Ray. And we're going to tell you the name of the play again and where to find this play so that you can get your tickets. Thank you so much, Riley, for joining us. And we already had a conversation, so I expect to see you again, Riley. She's like, I have other things going on right now. So, Christopher, tell us where we can find you and what you may have going on coming up.
You can find me on Facebook under Chris M. Folks. I'm also on Instagram on Chris Matt Music. Like I said earlier, I'm also a singer. I'm a classically trained tenor, so that's like my main thing. I love opera and all that kind of stuff. So you'll find stuff on there. You can also find me on Facebook on my artist page, Christopher Folks, tenor as well. You'll see some works from there. I have an event that I'm going to be singing at tomorrow in lieu of the holiday season. And then also I have another event in Virginia on the 19th. Shout out to my church, Koinonia Congregation, Koinonia Community. We're going to be going out there to spread joy to all the college students at Old Dominion University. So though I do the classical, I do all different styles of music. I do funerals, weddings, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to book me, let me know.
I know that's right. So y'all heard it here, please. And like I said, please support them. They're doing this play. I'm sure that this is not the last time we'll see you all on stage, but also in all the other gifts that you have, because we have gifts so that we can share them with others. So thank you for continuing to do that.
Right.
And Micah, please share with us what you have going on after this play and where we can find you.
You probably can't find me anywhere unless you can find my mom,
right? You're too young, right?
Well, I kind of am. But after the play, I might be doing different activities with my friends, my cousins, and sometimes I'll be doing stuff with my teachers over the summer.
Okay, I love to hear that. I really love to hear that. So we have to stay connected. Maybe mom will stay connected so we can support you in everything that you're doing after school during the summer. I love to hear young people continuing through the summer. And like I said, I appreciate you all and sharing your gifts with everyone. Riley is singing for us too. I think she has other gifts. And Rosalind, please share with us again where we can find the play and any other things that you'd like to share for people to look forward to for this event on May 10th.
Absolutely.
And know where to find you as well.
Okay. You can find me on Facebook sometimes. I'm getting better at doing that. On my website, which is Rosalind, ROSALYNF, like in Frank, Morgan, MORGAN, .com. And you can also get your tickets there. And also, if you need, a lot of people don't like to do tickets online. If they want to do that, just give me a call, 240-481-9302, and I can put that in the chat. If you want physical tickets, we will work that out. And yes, again, the play is going to be May 10th at 3:00 at Public Playhouse, 5445 Landover Road in Hyattsville, Maryland. We are excited. We want to sell this place out. I also want to let you know VIP tickets are gone.
Wow. Congratulations.
They are gone. I keep getting calls. I'm like, they always go fast. So, but the Public Playhouse, and like several people say, no matter where you sit, you have a great seat.
Yes.
Yes. So come on out, buy your tickets. Thank you for putting that information out. Again, we want to see everybody there. You will have a ball. And also I want to say, after the play, we're going to have a panel discussion. That's another thing that we do after the play. that we have a caregiver who's been caring for her husband for the past 16 years who has Alzheimer's. We have somebody in the healthcare arena who's going to be there. We have a pharmacist who can talk about things as far as, what you can do. And also we're going to have somebody from the state of Maryland who's going to talk about the new initiative on dementia initiative. And with that panel discussion, it's interactive. So people will get an index card once they come in and they can write down questions.
Okay.
And we will collect the questions and we will ask the panel. All questions may not be able to get answered because of our time frame. However, I always collect the questions, reach out to those panelists afterwards and get their answers and send out a frequently asked question, based on that, as long as I get a legible email address.
I love it.
And that's something I've been doing for the past several years, and I combine. So not only will you get the answers to the questions that were asked then, you'll also get the answers to the questions that were asked prior to that. So you'll get a long list. So that'll help people.
With
and
the
it's been
educators,
very helpful.
absolutely. So before we say goodbye, and I throw out a few announcements before we say goodnight, I wanted to remind you all, I actually did show the flyer for the play. So you all, please, you'll still see it on the Power Shut Up page and my personal page on Facebook. And I have been putting it out on TikTok. I'm trying to do this TikTok thing, y'all. I'm really trying. But I did want to say that this actually stemmed from a book. So I really would love for you, before we say goodnight and I say these announcements, to tell them where they can find your book and support that as well.
Absolutely. The book is a long title, Laughing to Keep from Crying. This Alzheimer's Thing is No Joke. You can buy the book on Amazon. It's right there. Yeah. It's been there for a while. So just don't you have to do it. Just put that title in. It'll come right on up. Please support, because we want, like I said, in the book, it not only it gives our story, it also gives lessons that I learned throughout my journey. And it also gives you resources and it gives tips. And that's why I wanted to write this book, not just to have my story, but to help other people, caregivers or whoever reads that book, because Absolutely. You just never know what's going to happen in your future. So You want to be prepared.
I love that. So you all, please make sure that you go out there and support this play. I thank you all so much for even considering the Power Shut Up podcast. I wanted to make a few announcements, you all. I'm slow moving since I'm just getting into this retirement world, and I'm actually loving every minute of it. Okay. So I've almost become a little bit lazy real quick, but I wanted to remind everybody that I am affiliated with a company called Notes to Self. So please, for those gifts for your birthday, for Mother's Day, for Easter, whatever it is, grab your Notes to Self socks today at notestoself.com/POSU. They have positive affirmations on the toe and on the foot of the socks. I work with them because my book is actually The Power Shut Up, and I talk about the power of words and communication and how we just need to do better about how we communicate with one another. And listening is definitely a part of that. So that means that we have to learn how to zip it. And since I learned the hard way, I figured, why not share what I've learned from learning how to shut my mouth sometimes. It really is a blessing on the other side of that. It is peaceful. So I just say, try it. You might like it. But please go out and get those socks. I give them away. So I wanted to share that with you. I also am working on a journal, and it's called Shut Up and Write It Down. And this journal will go along with the book that kind of helps people on tips on why it's important to even be quiet. Some people just don't understand why. I got a voice. Why not use it? And absolutely, the Power Shut Up is not saying to be quiet. It's just telling you to learn how to think before you speak, so that you don't regret what you say. And sometimes things are just not worth saying. So that's what we talk about in the journal. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. We've had some amazing guests in the panel. They're guests too. Yolanda says this was great to watch. Knowledge is power. Thank you for sharing and bringing awareness. You go, Riley. I see you, girl. Wishing you all the very best with the play and your future endeavors. His divine appointment says yes. They feel amazing. She has won some socks before on my show. I love to do giveaways. With that being said, I would love to remind people that there's a prayer call right after the show because as you all know, if you watch the news, there's a lot of things going on, and I actually work for the Department of Education, so we went through it. I happen to be retiring, but I have a lot of people that were on my team that lost their jobs and things, and so we have a community prayer that we started a few weeks ago, and we're continuing that. So if you would love to, on my Facebook page, we have the information, but there's a Zoom link that you can I think I have it. I'll put it up, but there's a community prayer call, and we just ask for people who have some things that they need to lay at the altar. Just come, and we don't keep you long, but we need to come together as a community, and sometimes we're holding tight to things that we need to let go and let God. So please consider joining the community prayer at 8:00 right after this. And I also like to remind you all that we come live every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And April is my birthday month. So next week, we are going to have a little party over here. We're going to have a DJ come in, and we're just going to have a really, really good time giving away things, listening to music, remembering some of the shows we've had and our wonderful guests. So please feel free to come back and join us. But we appreciate you joining us tonight. I have enjoyed all of the young people who are on here that are like, I got work to do, so I don't have time for these interviews. I get it. And thank you all for doing what you're doing. I think that this is something that needs to be done more often. So I appreciate everything. So with that being said, I look forward to seeing you all next week. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have
Thank
a
you for
good
having
one.
It's